We're here today at 1,000 Trails Yosemite Lakes, where we're going to take you on a tour of the campground and bring you into the park with us for just a few excursions.
Show you some of the beauty of this area.
It's gorgeous. So come along with us.
Welcome back, EdelKampers. I'm Fred.
And I'm Mary. We explore, experience, and educate.
Because it's never too late to believe in yourself.
Ain't that the truth? We're at the Yosemite General Store, 1,000 Trails. It's about 3/4 of a mile up from the campground itself, and is the only store for about, 20 miles?
Yep.
And then there's a small town on the mountain, which has a little grocery store and a few other things. But it takes a little while to get there because it's really curvy roads. FYI, you can receive a 10% discount at the 1,000 Trails Campground store if you present your 1,000 Trails membership card. Of course, this excludes alcohol, cigarettes, and gas. To check into the campground, you will drive past the store, stay to the right, and continue all the way to the bottom of the hill. You will see the Yosemite Lodge, which was under construction at the time of our stay. We could not go inside, but from the outside it looked like it was going to be really nice. If you have been there lately and it was complete, please leave a comment in the section below and update us on how the lodge is doing. You will drive past the lodge and pull into a marked spot in front of the registration office to check in. The office is beautiful inside and was just recently completed. This is one of the few places that you can connect to Wi-Fi. You will pick up your paperwork and go choose a site. Once you've chosen a site, you will have to return to the office to let them know where you are parked, since there is extremely limited cell signal here. While at the office, check out their new family bathroom on the left side of the building. In this campground, the laundry room is huge, not only in size, but it's huge because it is next to the office and one of the only spots where you can easily connect to the Wi-Fi. I was showing them our beautiful backyard for this 21 days. The next 21 days. Fred's getting ready to put our license plate with the EdelKampers on. It matches our Magna shade. And it's Vanna. Vanna Fred.
Actually, there was no digging once the yellow toolbox was up. Man.
I'm gonna turn this off.
License to EdelKamp.
Here we go. The EdelKampers. We are here during the month of October, and this is our first time without children, but we still had to make a pumpkin and decorate just a little. I think this is the first time that we've been here in 2 weeks that I've seen the playground without any children. We've really enjoyed watching the children play here. This is a great destination camp. You see a lot of interaction and people mingling and having a good time. It's really been great to watch. I love the sand volleyball net. It'd be great to get a team together and play. I haven't played in a long time. Basketball court, and obviously looks like wow, someone was really artistic. It appears that this is not chalk. People have been drawing with sand. Look how beautiful. There's an artist in here somewhere. A shuffleboard. If you're ready for some horseshoes, they have it marked off very well. Yosemite Lakes Pee Wee Golf. Very colorful. Been also well used when we've been here so far. The horseshoes and miniature golf equipment are here, very easy to access. There are several bathrooms located throughout the park. They are clean and very well kept. Do be aware that some of them are closed during the fall and winter season. Oh, nice. So you get your very own bathroom and shower. That's pretty cool. On the side across the road, just help me remember There are 2 bathrooms, but one's closed for the season. And this one's still open. Oh, keep trying to turn on the lights, but the power is down at Yosemite Lakes today. There were 2 stalls, 2 sinks, and 2 showers. I definitely like the trailers better. And these are okay. Fred and I stopped to take a look at the Rim of the World. This is a famed stop on the route to Yosemite. The Rim of the World is a vista point where you can see the Jawbone Ridge. The Rim of the World is, however, best known as the namesake of the 2013 Rim Fire. It was the largest wildfire in the history of the Sierra Nevada. There are small memorials to firefighters who lost their lives fighting forest fires nearby. You will find a place called the Rainbow Fall area just after you pass the Rim of the World. Yosemite does not have a pool, but they share with you the perfect local swimming hole that is about 4 miles away from the campground called Rainbow Falls. We also have a short link above. Rainbow Falls is a natural swimming hole where you can dip your feet, take a plunge, or jump off the rocks into the largest of the inviting pools. It is also a popular picnic, hiking, and fishing area. The swimming area is just breathtakingly beautiful. Today, Fred and I are going to explore Yosemite Valley, one of the park's most popular destinations. The valley is regarded as the centerpiece of Yosemite National Park. Along our drive, we stopped a lot to view the sights. Our first overlook was pretty, but a little smoky from all the fires throughout the state. Next, we stopped by Merced Creek, which runs along the road throughout Yosemite and is absolutely gorgeous. Our first major stop is the edge of Bridalveil Meadow in Yosemite Valley. This is where on a night many years ago, during a campfire discussion, John Muir had President Roosevelt as a captive audience to hear a convincing plea to save the Yosemite Valley. We are surrounded by sheer granite walls. Did you know that there are over 20 mountains in Yosemite that are 10,000 feet in elevation? Our next stop was at the swinging bridge that is now a fixed bridge. The views while standing on the bridge are stunning. Normally you can get a glimpse of Yosemite Falls from here, but everything was so dry during our visit, all you could see was a stain of water where it came down the rock. The Merced River was beautiful, but very low as well. This area had picnic tables with bear warnings and grills, and the scenic view that it had to offer was better than any dinner theater.
Hey everybody, we made it to the Yosemite. You can just call me Yosemite Sam.
He's at it again.
Who?
You.
I am not.
Well, welcome to Yosemite. The chapel was built in 1879 and is the oldest structure in Yosemite Valley, still being used today. It was placed on the Natural Register of Historic Places in 1973 because of its simple architecture that was a particularly fine example of the early chapels constructed in the Sierra Nevada mountains. As you gaze beyond the reawakening meadow that lies across from the chapel, you can close your eyes and visualize the old Yosemite village where it once stood. It was a bustling hamlet during the late 1800s and early 1900s. We're back on the road again. Check out this cool natural rock tunnel. We're driving right through it. It's so amazing. This was one of Fred and my favorite parts of Yosemite, the Wawona Tunnel. It's a famous and historical tunnel that was bored through the solid granite bedrock. It is part of the 3 main roads in Yosemite Valley. There isn't anything more spectacular than driving through Wawona Tunnel to reach one of the most stunning views in the park. You will catch your first glimpse of the staggeringly beautiful Yosemite Valley as you emerge. You are met with jaw-dropping views down the long tunnel of the Yosemite Valley, providing an exceptional opportunity to get a panoramic view of all of Yosemite's most talked about features in one picture-perfect moment. In fact, this point offers such a fantastic opportunity for taking in the impressive beauty of El Capitan, Half Dome, cathedral spires, and more, that it has been given a nickname of its location, Tunnel View. The same spot has also been lovingly referred to as Artist's Point because so many paintings have been created with this viewpoint being their inspiration. Fires. Fires can be devastating, but they also play an important part in the ecosystem of the forest and are needed. Yosemite's early inhabitants periodically set fires to promote brush clearing. In the 1850s, traditional burning practices were stopped. The lack of natural clearing fires has led to overgrowth and unhealthy forests. Since 1970, the National Park Service has restored brush clearing fires to much of Yosemite. We reached the Mariposa Grove arrival area, where there is parking, restrooms, and water fountains. You may want to fill up your water bottle before you hike from their special water fountain that also feeds the Sequoia Trees. Then pop into the depot, where they have a wide variety and the best sources of information on Yosemite. They also have maps, guidebooks, gifts, and apparel. Muir quoted that, "The big tree is nature's forest masterpiece, and so far, I know the greatest of living things." A tree's history can be shown by reading tree rings. Here at the depot, they have a slice of a giant sequoia displayed where you can check out the rings and even count them if you want. They have lots of information placards to guide you through the history of the sequoia. This is also the place where you could normally board the shuttle to take you to the Mariposa Grove, but it was not running at this time. Those with a disability placard can drive there. However, parking is limited, so come early. Otherwise, it is a 2-mile hike. There were maps displayed at the depot to look at, or you can pick up a paper copy to take with you. Since the shuttle is not running, let's get this 7-mile round-trip hike with a 1,000-foot elevation change started. You will find the trailhead at the end of the parking lot. Walk across a cute little bridge and be on your way. The trail is very well marked throughout, so no need to worry which path to take. The 2-mile path to the grove was beautiful, nicely maintained, and very well traveled. I actually talked to many people along the way from many different places. There were several great spots for photo ops along the way. I really like the wooden bridge on this hike. We made it to the shuttle drop-off, and there's only 1.5 miles to go to get to the sequoias. I learned that in 1864, during the midst of the Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln signed the Yosemite Grant Act. This established Yosemite Valley and the Mariposa Grove as the first federally protected wild places in the nation. This visionary act was the first time in history that a tract of wild land was set aside by a government to preserve it for the enjoyment of all citizens. We have a bit more to travel before we see the huge sequoias, and we are losing light. I do not want to travel the 3.5 miles back in the dark, so let's get going. The trail is filled with beautiful trees of all sizes. These trees started from seeds that are tightly sealed in small egg-shaped cones. It's just amazing to think of their humble beginnings from seeds to the giants that they have become today. Along the trail, you'll find the Bachelor and 3 Graces. They are a group of 4 trees. 3 of them are growing very close together, with the 4th one a little more distant. It is said that their roots are so intertwined that if one of them were ever to fall, it would likely make the others fall with it. The trees are simply named for the proximity to one another. The 3 Graces in Greek mythology are said to be goddesses of such things as charm, beauty, and creativity. We are getting close to the grizzly giant. I don't know about you, but I'm excited. The grizzly giant is one of Mariposa's most notable trees. Just look at it. Wow, notice the blackened color at the base of the tree? It has survived several fires through the years. Look halfway up the tree, and you will see a large branch bending skyward. This branch is larger than most trunks of trees. The grizzly giant, like older sequoia trees and those damaged by lightning or fire, has a snagged top due to the loss of sapwood and a reduced ability to move water from roots to ground. It is just amazing to see in person. We are very close to the California Tunnel, so let's continue on just a bit further. The California Tunnel tree was cut in 1895 to allow horse-drawn stages to pass through. There were actually 2 trees in this grove that were tunneled, and this is the only one still standing. As I stroll through the living tree, I think about its history and look for evidence of its healing itself. If you look around, you will see the bark of the sequoia. It is growing inward in an attempt to close over its wound. I hiked back to the car, and on the way home we were rewarded with an amazing sunset. What will tomorrow bring for us in this lovely park? There is always something to explore at Yosemite, and today we are headed up to Glacier Point. This 7,214-foot perch offers unimaginably panoramic views over Yosemite Valley. The view from Glacier Point includes several of the notable Yosemite Valley features. Beneath the grandeur of Glacier Point, on a clear day, you can see Curie Village on the floor of Yosemite Valley. The village is known for its warmth and hospitality. Our favorite view to the east, rising even higher at 8,800 feet above sea level, lies the gigantic and majestic granite known as the Half Dome. This panoramic view is breathtakingly gorgeous. This is another one of the most popular points of interest in Yosemite National Park. Glacier Point is also a good starting point or finishing point for some of Yosemite's most popular trails, including the 4-Mile Trail and the Panorama View Trail. Be sure to walk up the path a short ways. You can go into the Geology Hunt, which is a great place for you to pose for a photo on the hut's balcony, displaying the Half Dome and the waterfalls of the Mist Trail as your backdrop. Glacier Overlook has bathrooms, a gift shop, museum, and other amenities. They say they sell great ice cream here, too, but we were so in awe of all the views that we missed going into the shop, and it closed before we left. If you can't hike or don't like to hike and you want to see the iconic views, then put Tunnel View and Glacier Point on your list of places to visit, as they are both drive-up views that should not be missed. On the way home, we stopped at another lookout that shows you a different view of the Half Dome. I walked down the hill a bit to try to get a better view. There are so many different views that you can check out in the park, so take your time and enjoy. On our way out of Yosemite, just as it is beginning to get dark, we hear a loud noise and feel the car pulling. Thank God it was near a place to pull off. We have to change a tire in the middle of nowhere and drive back to the campground on a donut spare. Kind of scary. So the next day, we drove into Groveton, which is about 45 minutes away, to get new tires. We stopped to get breakfast at the historical Iron Door Saloon, the oldest saloon in California, built in 1852. The food was yummy. However, we find out that we have to drive over an hour more to get to Sonora, California to find tires. We are very thankful that the Daughtry tires worked us in. Our tires were pretty worn out. It was a good thing that we decided to get all 4 new tires. We even traded out our donut tire for a regular spare. I feel safer now. We hung around as they took off our old tires. We were able to watch the process of them mounting the new tire, balancing the tire, and then putting the new tires back on the car. On the way home, we drove through Groveland and stopped at the nearest grocery store to the campground and picked some groceries. Hetchy is a part of Yosemite that not many people check out, but definitely worth the visit. The drive to the O'Shaughnessy Dam is beautiful. Once you get to the dam, there is plenty of parking. So walk up and stand on the O'Shaughnessy Dam. Looking over the dam, think about where all that water is going. This water supplies drinking water to 2.7 million San Francisco Bay Area residents. You can also see views of the 2 waterfalls, Tahula Waterfall and the Wapama Fall. It has been very dry here, and so all you can see are marks where the falls were. The O'Shaughnessy Dam, named for the chief engineer, was completed in 1938. Today, it also supplies hydroelectric power generated by 2 plants downstream. The reservoir is 8 miles long and the largest single body of water in Yosemite. Let's take a walk across the dam and check out that tunnel. My curiosity has gotten the best of me. The tunnel is well lit. It is not a very long tunnel, and it opens up to the trailhead for the Wampampa Falls. The trail hugs the water. We are going to save this hike for another day and head back and meet up with Fred. The drive back is full of beautiful views that we did not stop on, so we're going to stop and check a few of them out now. There is so much to see here. Look at that valley below. Isn't it just gorgeous? Outside the park, there are two beautiful hotels called Evergreen Lodge and Rush Creek Lodge. We stopped at Evergreen Lodge to check it out. You can stop at them, visit the restaurant and store. The picnic tables are so inviting that we stopped to eat our picnic lunch here. My last hike was to a waterfalls called Carlon Falls. It is a 3.8-mile round-trip hike. This is a Yosemite hike, and you don't have to pay an entrance fee. You can visit this waterfall without going through a manned entrance gate. The falls are inside the park, but the trailhead is not. The trail begins on Cellular National Park, but enters Yosemite about 500 feet or so from the beginning of the trail. You'll know when you reach Yosemite because you have to squeeze through a narrow V-shaped gate designed to prevent motorcycles and horses. There is also a sign there. The trail follows the South Fork of the Tulum River. The trail is not a difficult trail. There are a couple of short, steep accents near the end, but for the most part is an easy hike along the river. The trail is smooth and only occasionally covered by roots and rocks, so watch out for them. The river is a bit dry as you get closer to the falls, so now you can walk inside the bed of the river. Isn't it beautiful? As you get even closer, you start seeing a series of small cascades of water. Carlon is a personal-sized waterfall, about 20 or 30 feet high, with a pool at its base. I have heard that in the summer that this pool of water is a great swimming hole. I had so much fun checking out this area. I want to explore more of Yosemite, but alas, it is time for Fred and I to move to our next destination.
All right, it's time for the Yosemite Cellular Service Report. Well, frankly, folks, there wasn't any. No AT&T, no T-Mobile, no Verizon. If you wanted cellular, go into Yosemite. We found a nice little place we nicknamed AT&T Rock. No, I'm not going to tell you where it's at, but we know exactly where it's at. Anyway, they do have a Java, I think it was called, Wi-Fi service that you pay for. Don't pay for it. I did for you, just to test it for you. And most of those services I've tried in Thousand Trails parks have been abysmal at best. This one was the abysmalest. And that's not a word, I'm sure. So if you're trying to figure out if you could get by on 1.67 or maybe 0.60, no, you're going to get the one right in the middle. It'll work for a little bit, it'll disconnect. If nothing else, just go down to the laundry room like everybody else. Although, I really didn't have any luck there either. So, you know, AT&T Rock, there I go. Okay, we'll see you all next time. Hopefully you'll have better cell service.